So as much to the country, I make this promise to all of you in this hall. As I did last summer, I will tell it as it is. And conference, you can already see my approach in the course I charted on net zero.
Well, let's take a look at that.
So the idea that government can tell you what to eat, gone.
That was never government policy, so he was just making it up.
The idea that government can force you to have 7 different bins in your home, gone.
Again, there was no proposal that Britons should be required to have 7 different bins, and it's never been government policy that they should. So again, he was just making it up.
The idea that government can create new taxes to discourage flying or taking holidays, gone.
Again, that's never been government policy, so it's not a policy change. No frequent flyer tax has ever been seriously mooted by the government. He might as well say he's abandoned plans to tax Santa's sleigh at Christmas.
The idea that government can tell you how many passengers to have in your car, gone.
Again, that's never been government policy, so it's not a change in policy. He's just making it up.
We're making sure government stays out of your life.
Seriously? During the past 12 months, we've had an anti-strike bill designed to rob millions of workers of their democratic right to strike. An Elections Act will lock millions of people out of the electoral process, a blatant act of voter suppression by the government. And new laws will strip back our right to protest and limit our rights to judicial review.
I will tell it as it is. Since leaving the single market, we've grown faster than France and Germany, not despite Brexit, because of Brexit.
Well, imagine the shock for the Prime Minister when he finds out that according to Bloomberg Economics, Brexit is costing the UK economy £100 billion a year, with the effects spanning everything from business investment to the ability of companies to hire workers.
The fact we control our own trade policy now is why we can be the first European country to join the £11 trillion Pacific Trade Pact.
Well, CPTPP countries may have a combined GDP of £11 trillion, but that won't all be coming here. So again, imagine the Prime Minister's shock when he finds out on his government's own estimates, in a decade, we're likely to see an increase in our wealth of just 0.08%. On the other side of the balance sheet, the loss of GDP due to Brexit and exiting the EU single market is put conservatively by the Independent Office of Budget Responsibility at a staggering 4% of GDP by 2030. That's at least 50 times greater. I know you want tax cuts. I want them too, and we will deliver them. But the best tax cut we can give people right now is to halve inflation. This government has whacked up taxes for working people to their highest levels since records began. It gave us the highest inflation in 40 years, in part due to its sheer incompetence in managing the country's economy. And now the Prime Minister wants us all to believe that inflation is some kind of tax, and if it can be brought down, it will give us all a tax cut. Falling inflation just means prices are rising more slowly than they were before. It does not mean that price levels are actually falling. So much for us all feeling better. Westminster is a broken system. Well, no arguments from me on that one. And that's why we're here. That's why we Conservatives do what we do, up and down the country, from Whitehall to Town Hall. We're building a better future for the next generation. Seriously? 13 years of Conservative government has left millions living in poverty using food banks and now at risk of losing their homes. So if this country is to change, then it can only be us who will deliver it.